and you're still going to have to play a best of 5 heroes group perseverance. So
Yep.
I'll be looking forward to it. EDG, they have first pick coming in. We'll see what their priority is. No Nico ban. Yep, that's going to get immediately
Easy
snapped
peasy.
up by Parukia.
Yep. Some staple bans you always see coming through. Not much more to touch on. All right. You know what? ThunderTalk, I think they're doing a good job on the ease of execution. Vi Talia. It's a great, season assist, seismic shove. You find one person, you blow them up. Not bad.
All right, Angel, what do we play? It could be Ryze. I think the Ryze versus Talia matchup is fine, and Ryze is going to get a lot of value later as a champion, just in terms of time, and I think as a setup for Nico, it's great. Going for Leave Kaisa.
Yep.
I'm worried. I don't think you're allowed to play Kaisa this early on. There are still plenty of champions. You can still go for things like Corki. There is even things still like the Sivir that you can need to be aware of. So very early slam here for the AD carry of EDG.
This is the bottom lane they ran in Game 2 just a night ago to get the win of the series over ThunderTalk. So we'll see again, kind of back to that, how well do we study tape kind of idea, getting the same exact bottom lane the ThunderTalk we another look at. You mentioned the Corki, easy slam dunk there for Ryan. So now that we move into the second phase of bans, ThunderTalk are going to try and take away some comfortability for Angel into this Talia. I like that idea.
Yeah, Ari's a good look. Now, we did see Angel play Malzahar last night. I don't think we're likely to see that champion again, but we'll see. Now, Renekton ban tells me we're picking Cassante in my mind. If we're not looking for that, then I don't really know what Keshi's going to be immediately opting for. I do think that a Jax is always a good choice into a Kaisa later on into a game, and a decent enough laner. So, what's this last ban? It's Nautilus and, is it Braum? Is it Nautilus and Rakan? It's Leona instead.
Okay. Maybe try to take away that Solar Flare stun that would allow Junhao to get the ball rolling on that Vi cease and assist into the Talia. I don't know. Would a Rakan be a good look? Oh.
No,
Malka.
do not pick this. This is fake.
No?
This champion. I think this champion in support is so terrible. You have no resistances. You really are a champion that really kind of wants to just be left by his lonesome. We're going for Nami. Strong lane pair and smash the Nico. Nico's been falling a really high, still very highly prioritized, but definitely falling in terms of relevance and strength that we saw from her just, 4 months ago. So I like the tentative look at this. Again, we said play simple to play compositions, strong early laning phases, and then try to just snowball over your opponents at this point. And we're seeing EDG continue to just play for later in the game. Let's play for 2 items. Let's play for 20 and 25 minutes here.
What TT are playing for, though, by picking up that Nami now, is they're playing for a Keshi counter pick. So you see the Scion. Maybe this is a Jax angle. I'd have a lot of fun with the Jax into the Scion. Think you can really run wild. Maybe do you want to play Yorick to try and split up the team fight style of a Wukong, a Nico, a Kaisa, now an Akali? I don't know. I think Jax is really good here.
Jax is great. I do think that the Yorick has its place here in this game, and I don't think you really want to get counter. You don't want to counter pick yourself into Scion, because then Scion just hoover ups all of your minions and is unkillable. You need a tank buster in this game. Talia and Corki are not going to cut it. We get Gwen. All right, we're finally getting some more AP tops, and Gwen is really, I think Gwen in side lane versus every single one of these champions, if Keshi gets an advantage here in this game, he is unkillable here.
Yeah, and certainly tank shreds, right? Especially the way you can build Gwen now with the possibilities. It's going to be fun here. We've seen a lot of talk about the new AP items, how disgusting they are, and a lot of different champions, mainly the AP Jax builds we've been seeing. We'll see how similarly Keshi's Gwen will rock towards those new build paths here. It's the main thing I see here, though, man, we are gonna start stacking team fights like flapjacks. There is no range in this game whatsoever.
No, but if there's a Leave Kaisa in the game, there's probably going to be an engage somewhere in terms of this game. So
Parukia,
we'll see what was on the table here. I think with ThunderTalk, you have strong bottom lane, you have a good enough top lane matchup, and you can't lane swap anymore because of the quests. So this is tough. I think you get a Gwen with the top quest already done, and she gets a ton of XP. This is very dangerous. I think that EDG need to find ways of getting objectives, whether it's dragons or elsewhere. Otherwise, they just lose this game if we go even.
We'll have to see. A precarious spot for EDG. We are in new territory. The second round robin has officially started here for Group Perseverance, and ThunderTalk are already feeling a new sort of vibe, bringing themselves in to try and shake up Group Perseverance even more. EDG looking to claw things back. Down 0-1 as we hit the rift again, and already see Angel find a pretty nice trade into Heru, and yeah, with those minion timers, no reset. Nope, can't do it.
He's just gonna have to sit, chug one of his pots, and hope that he can survive for the time being. I'm taking a look at runes. Nothing too surprising. Cash back for most of her variety carries. That's fine. Is a Conqueror and a Revitalize here for the Gwen. So just more healing, more survivability, and it's going to be really tough. So I want to see how ThunderTalk transition the lead that they'll have from their bottom lane, expected anyway. And how do we get Keshi? Because Keshi was kind of the best part of the first 15 minutes here for ThunderTalk in this game 1.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We do have both junglers pathing away from the top side as well. And the one advantage here for Junhao over Xiaohao is going to be the fact that Vi doesn't need to get to level 6 to be super impactful on gank paths. I like to see Junhao get a bit creative here. Maybe look for something early, especially maybe into a bottom lane that will potentially be pushed in. But, I mean, range versus melee in the mid lane. You mentioned how the Nami can kind of cancel out a lot of Nico's threat in the lane, and obviously Gwen versus Sion. At the very least, Junhao's going to get that protection we always talk about. Vi really needs through her first clear with these lane advantages.
Could also just look for something. I know you were kind of hinting at it there, so I think for right now, it's when we talk about jungle, it does feel like a role that has a lot of value. The fact that they turned down the quest from 40 to 35 just means that getting those smite upgrades really, really impactful. So making sure that you're staying on top of your camps, making sure that you're just hitting them, just because it has so much inherent value thanks to upgrading your smite. We haven't seen too many early active jungles, but I mean, hey, I'll take it. Like, we have a Wukong and a Vi, just get me to my level 6s and let's start praying.
All right, for the time being, Heru holds an HP advantage in mid lane. You see Ryan and Feather have bottom lane pressed up for now, and both junglers are going to come down towards the Scuttle Crab around the same time. Xiaohao, thanks to the nature of red side though, is there first. Junhao has to Vault Breaker over the wall to find it. So this looks like it's going to be a smite battle here potentially, or they're just going to start throwing hands themselves. All right. Staff versus glowing fists. Xiaohao is winning hard. He's going to flash to make sure the Vault Breaker doesn't get over, but Junhao wisely holds it instead of immediately dashing, and Xiaohao gets the Scuttle Crab he always wanted for, just the price of his flash.
I mean, Wukong is always able to duel way better than the Vi there, so very risky from ThunderTalk. I know they wanted to get the lanes involved, but mid was getting impacted, bottom lane was crashing in the middle of the lane, and so we saw Leave and Parukia actually start to hover towards the river. Makes it impossible for ThunderTalk to get much more than that. It'll just be the scuttles that are traded. And for now, it's a small advantage for ThunderTalk, but I think rather meaningless for the time being.
Keshi getting into his groove up against ZDZ, already a level up here. Once that needlework comes around, the solo kill threat will always be on the mind of ZDZ. We'll see how much maybe ThunderTalk can use Keshi to get towards those grubs. I think getting the grubs on the Gwen as well continues to push that prevailing point you made that nobody should be able to deal with an ahead Gwen in the side lanes 1 versus 1, and grubs will make that an even bigger problem later into this game.
Oh yeah. See what we can get. Again, early jungle pathing. Doesn't seem like we're getting much out of the ordinary. Xiaohao is about 5 seconds ahead of his enemy jungler right now, so what that means for the game, I don't think it's going to have a huge impact, but oh, Ryan, don't die right here, please. You have to give up this wave now. But what I was kind of getting at is whether or not Xiaohao is going to have opportunities to maybe sneak in a very quick level 6 in comparison.
Oh wow, he was trying to fake out Ryan there, but oh, Parukia, bit of a gamble. Right.
That was a visual bug. That was a visual bug.
Okay,
still got the flash from Parukia. We'll take that.
And there's another flash. Heru has to flash away from Angel. Perfect execution. Kill threat there. Starting to sway the mid lane a bit more here. So some key flashes to take note of. We have Dragon on the Rift now and Grubs in about under 3 minutes. So all those flashes you just saw expelled will not be available for either of those big people.
ZDZ's got to be careful because there's an ultimate here for Keshi. And if ZDZ walks up, tries to take a little bit too much damage, you just unload with those 1,000 cuts, and the Scion turns into paper mache at that point. Looks like Keshi's just going to instead look for a recall, maybe go into Fog of War and make a trip down. Just gets his Fey Lights here on top side. Junhao is starting this. I don't like this, but I think that the buttons that TT have pre-ultimates are just significantly better than their opponents. And EDG just say, look, we're not going to look for anything. So all that hubbubaloo of Angel trying to trade, of Xiaohao using his flash early, not turning into very much here for Edward Gaming.
Yeah, that flash for Xiaohao should be up for the Grubs, so you'll have the Cyclone available for another, snatch engage with that Summer available. Classic Scion maneuver there from ZZ to get back to lane. I guess the only thing you could say is he can't really ult in towards the Grub pit if there's going to be a fight there. I really hope ThunderTalk, I know they got the first Dragon, and a lot of the times you might want to play a bit slower and, at least allow the other team to take 2 of the 3 Grubs. I still just think it's so big if they can get majority of Grubs on the Keshi, so we'll see how much they want to try and go for 2 of the 2 opening major neutral objectives.
I'll be a little critical of Ryan. From what we have seen every time we've panned down to this bottom lane, those phosphorus bombs are just not hitting anybody relevant. And that's a big part of the lane. If you play Corki Nami, Gatling Gun, Valkyrie forward, throwing Phos bombs, all of those proc the Tidecaller's Blessing, and that's a large chunk of burst damage early on into the game. But without any of this poke landing, Leave is just freely farming, has the call a little bit earlier than Ryan does as well, so we're getting to a really, really big pivotal part. Feather already has level 6, which I think is really impressive, but as long as nothing else happens and Parukia still gets access to that ultimate, probably not by now, but definitely for the second Dragon of the game, I think EDG are okay with the state of the game.
I wonder if Feather wants to utilize that ult advantage towards the top side of the map, but not only have neither bottom lane shown that they want to reset to maybe get their supports back on the map. Okay, here we go with the needle work, but I think, yes, he's tanky enough, so he'll walk away. Both of our jugglers are also on the bottom side of the map. These Grubs are about 10 seconds away, so neither team too content on trying to knock those down off rip.
Hey, did you know that there's a Viego skin that's coming out soon?
I tried to not think about it because then I'm going to start thinking like I don't have a bank account to worry about.
I mean, you work here, so that's not usually a huge concern for people. But all right, well.
I watched what's his face, Electro. I watched him talk about all the many combos of the skin.
Oh.
It's really cool.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll make sure to check him out. Junhao, I don't think we're allowed to do this. I think we're getting one and we're out.
Nope.
No one else is here yet, buddy.
Let's see if he can juke the. All right, he gets away from that Vault Breaker block. But yeah, I think TT have backed themselves into, hey, maybe they can walk in and take one from Xiaohao.
Oh, they got
Xiaohao,
2.
You'll let the third one go? Nope. Stands his ground. And I don't think you're Vault Breakering back forward. All right, so I think that's a pretty big win for EDG, taking a lot of the steam, the gas out of Keshi's side lane Gwen Exodia.
They just recognize they don't have a lot of damage. Like, Vi Talia isn't the most versus a Wukong and an Akali. And also, Parukia showing up there, because he's wearing he's cosplaying as Leave in that fight, they don't actually know that he's level 5 during that. That is probably a little bit influential as to, they're like, oh, that's a Nico that might have ultimate. Okay, we're not playing this anymore, guys. There's just no way we're looking for anything. So, all in all, EDG will grab themselves 3 of the Grubs, which is good. More importantly, just taking that away from their opponents. It's one of their first small wins we have seen in this series early on. Because last game, they lost almost all the Dragons early, and they didn't get any of the Grubs nor the Herald.
So how going to be spotted on this top side is Keshi is really losing out on a lot of these sustain and thrive fights in his EDG. He's going to stand under turret. Smart, wise to use the needlework to clear out the wave. Might just save him from getting dove here by Xiaohao, but if he walks out away from the turret, does Xiaohao just jump onto him? All right, nope. He's going to be able to dash back to safety. The question I was going to ask you before that started, that play started forming on the top side, how highly are we grading ZDZ's early game on the Sion? I feel like he's doing a wondrous job.
Yeah, Sion is a very disgusting champion, so not surprised to see that somehow in this matchup he is doing okay. Sion can be a bit of a lane bully. I think we've seen multiple times where even in slightly worse matchups, this champion is really ridiculous. So he's good. I mean, he has a Kanan Rookern already done. The Soul Furnace is one of the more important abilities on this champion. If you can get that procced off of right next to someone, that's a lot of damage. He's going to come back to this lane. Keshi, I don't think, really gets a ton of time hitting this turret. He gets a turret plate, but the wave's already dead. Keshi
takes a turret shot.
I think Keshi's dead.
I think Keshi's just going to get walked down. Maybe not. ZDZ, you know what? It's mental warfare. He's like, all right, Keshi, your time in this lane is over.
If he did not miss the decimating smash, I think he should have just solo killed him there. So good play from Keshi. He got himself the turret plate. Going down half HP after you just teleported. Not the best, however. Parukia.
Oh my god, Parukia does the fake out, and TT's bottom lane falls for it with ease. Oh my gosh.
That's second dragon of the game going over to EDG. They'll have their first here, but amazing. Parukia has been really mind gaming them here in this one. Not only with the first back that we saw going up against Ryan, but even here, just has them completely cooked when it comes to movements of the clone.
That was nice. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. ThunderTalk, especially Ryan. I mean, you knew he tried that on you earlier to stop your back, so. It's a substantial gold lead manifesting now for Edward Gaming. And a lot of that right where they want it for those team fights later on. As you see, Xiaohao completes the Trinity Force, and that is 9 of advantage over the Sundered Sky. Leave is cruising himself to a gold lead. He's getting featured, as he should be, in prime position on the classic LPL Kaisa to add another chapter to that very large book.
Wow, this is great for EDG, man. You're saying, okay, we took matchups that maybe suffer at different points in the game, but we're ahead, and a lot of that is in Leave. We've had a lot of criticisms for this guy. He's now returning back to EDG, his original org that he found success on in the youth program. And so far, this early season in 2026 has been significantly tougher than it was on NIP. And obviously, expectations are just a little bit more grand. EDG came into last year with, okay, we're going for a slightly different rebuild. We're going to have some older guys. We're going to look to really try to farm most of Group Nirvana and maybe take a couple of best of fives off of Group Ascend teams. But so far, hasn't been good.
Down. Good flash and clone usage. Get away from the tidal wave. Heru does have the Weaver's Wall, doesn't need it. Gets the nice little seismic shove flash combo, and Parukia's caught. Leave, very audacious look for this trade. Flashes over 1Q, but I don't really, are we buying time? Yeah, he's buying time for Angel. All right, Leave. Shouldn't have doubted you, because he sent enough flags up for the Cavalry to go right where to come down in. Gets the Void Seeker to make sure Angel finds that kill. Leave. Nice positioning.
Beautiful play there from Leave. It starts off with the support getting caught, and it transitioned into a 2-kill lead here for EDG, and maybe even a third. Heru has no flash. He used it to kill Parukia, and now that's the turret as well. 2,500 gold here for EDG, and almost like 2/3 of that is now on to this AD carry. He's going to have his support quest, or his AD carry quest done now. He's going to get so much gold going into the rest of this game.
Leave is cruising. And it's ThunderTalk that are unfortunately going to be receiving a cruising. Yeah, he
has 2 items at 14 minutes. Disgusting. 2-item Kaisa. Get me out of this one, guys. TT, you tried. It's very early on. Look, you can just scrap this one and put this one in the books. An ambitious look. I know you need to look for something. It really sucks that Heru ended up flashing, but he tries to take a slightly greedier path down in the bottom side. Leave showing a lot of patience. The flash, I think maybe expecting that Junhao would do a short-changed Q, but still doesn't matter. Then we get to see the second part of this. Perfect execution. Great cancel there as Angel stands in front of the Vault Breaker from Junhao. And then a Void Seeker comes in, gets enough damage that Angel can wrap that one up, and then the rest is history. Bot lane tier 1 taken, another kill going over to leave. I mean, now, Slayer, the game is near unplayable for ThunderTalk. They don't have enough damage to kill the tank top laner.
Nope.
And we're never fighting if Kai'Sa's even remotely in the area.
And we have to go in a way because we have a Vi. And we have an Akali that's also ahead playing against Enchanter support. So you know how that one goes. Yeah, it's rough looks here. Look how tanky ZDZ is. Yep, that's basically a full combo for Keshi. Does ZDZ lose this with... I don't even think he loses this with Junhao. All right, cancels the Vault Breaker. He's going to flash out. That is an audacious season assist, Mr. Junhao. Decimating Smash. Luckily doesn't catch him under the turret. But that's not a good sign for ThunderTalk. Oh my god.
We're going for the turret. Oh, Junhao's going to get solo killed. Junhao's solo killed.
Oh yeah, ZDZ. That's my brush.
He can literally just stand here and take the entire turret. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yep. Kanik, Rookern, he'll have Soul Furnace in 3 seconds. This entire time, EDG are hitting the top tier when they're going to summon the Herald. Are they going to go mid with this play? Because I think there's a very real explanation that we could look for. No, never mind. We're just going to take 3 plates off top lane. Okay. And they get the teleport. Damn, this is such a good play here for EDG. They are really squeezing on every part of the map. And ThunderTalk, they have no avenues. They have no way to play for the rest of this game. It doesn't get any easier. And it's not like maybe, just maybe, if Ryan gets his Muramana in the next 5 minutes, that's something, but...
Reaver's well played. Leaf gets away from the seismic shove, though. Disgusting amount of damage he can trade back, but those slippery stones made it so he was going to get stunned no matter what dash he used, and that's what's able to get a pretty good kill back. I believe Ryan picks up on that boatload of gold.
Ryan does pick up this kill, but I'm just the rest of the map is in ruins right now for TT. We're not able to push on mid wave. We're going to go top lane to try to make something happen onto ZDZ again. He has ultimate coming up in 5 seconds. There's no objective to play for, and the dragon's spawning in now, actually. It's already up. So, I mean, it bought time here for ThunderTalk. It gave them a moment to breathe. That's really it.
They have no reason to try and contest this dragon. Third one in the game with a split. We're going to start seeing how Angel can maybe take over this side lane because it's definitely scary for Heru going forward. The innate burst that Akali can bring to the table. Also the Hex, the Hextech Gunblade being back in the game. That it's kind of a ridiculous amount of AP damage that you just fire out randomly if you need a little bit of extra burst. At least Keshi's getting some plates back, but again, it's just such a problem that he will never, ever get to kill ZDZ unless this game goes like 45 minutes and this Gwen is like level 20 with all the items needed to tank shred. Which won't happen.
Sure of something. Yeah, I'm just making sure because I know it has a blasting wand. He's going for an Asher's Tooth. All right, Keshi. So we haven't really read the patch. I get it. Except not really. You are playing in the LPL.
I don't get it. Yeah.
So this is going to be an Asher's Tooth, which completely nullifies everything we were talking about beforehand with this champion. Dusk and Dawn, an additional on-hit of all your on-hit passives and effects with Gwen is not okay. It's the reason why in Jungle and in Diamond Plus, she is almost 55% win rate. There's no reason for this champion to be building anything else. I think the win rate spike for this is like 3% plus. So it's unfortunate. I know it's just such it's a microcosm of all the small mistakes that ThunderTalk have made in this game. All right, so Slayer, we don't even have a Muramana spike coming up soon. So like, I'm at a loss as to what exactly ThunderTalk can kind of do for the next 2 minutes.
Farm really well and give everything that they can afford to give, which isn't a lot. They can't really afford to give Baron. They've lost a lot of the map. I mean, I'm also just looking at Heru. I mean, this build, where it's at, we're tickling people. We are not hurting people. What? Blackfire Torch is, or no, is that a... Liamdres, what am I thinking? So, Liamdres, Seraphs. Like, there is no damage in this to Liam.
Nope. So I'm just looking directly at top lane Gwen's. 52, 53, it's about 55% win rate. If you don't have this item, suddenly all of her win rates just go down, like an insane amount. at least 2% in each category. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening.
A whole lot of milk you lose.
Exactly. You don't even get all of the fat with it. It's just nothing.
Reduce fat too? Darn, that's it.
It's tough.
Keshi. Yeah, I think EDG really can just do whatever they want, right? They're in the driver's seat. They've got a Baron that they can come up and play for now. They can maybe look onto Keshi, who continues to just struggle to get any waves near this top lane tier 1 turret. You can't really break this sort of curtain that EDG have set up around the top side of the map. Just keeping it dark. Nobody can see behind it. Nobody can hit the turrets to allocate less pressure.
Whoa.
And now Junhao's getting jumped on his own chickens. And it's a tidal wave out. Junhao flashes. Not good for the team that's relying on those 2 tools to not only peel, but engage for them. And yeah, guys, that's not your red buff. Those aren't your golems anymore, Junhao. I'm so sorry to have to tell you this.
Oh, we're using the Weavers while he was trying to look for something onto Angel. Cool. I mean, the rocks are down. Yeah, this is not meaningful in any way right now. EDG just have such a lock iron grip on this game.
Okay,
I guess she's just going to force the issue.
Okay. Oh, good flash wave from Decimating Smash. Need to work. Get some decent healing. TP help has to come through here. Can Keshi finally break this mold? CDZ's going to go down. All right, Keshi. I think Angel can catch him, though. Chases down to Shroud. Yep, and there's the Hextech bolt to the face. And Angel finds the trade, but had to TP to even find that. So, win for Keshi.
That's a huge win. And now ThunderTalk's laners can hopefully hit on some turrets right now. Heru's on the bottom side. He's going to try to take this bot lane tier 1. Ryan is not able to get any damage. And look at this contest. Feather can't be here.
Oh, flash after. Killer Instinct. Going to come through for leave. Yep. There's the pick.
That's
play.
Baron.
That should be Baron. Nice little cleanup from EDG in the mid lane to make up for Keshi's impact on the other side of the map.
We are TPing to a mid wave that I think gets very little here. There is not a Weaver's Wall. Okay. EDG, I gotta say, I like how we have played this game out. We got an advantage early thanks to our bottom lane playing very well, and then we just snowballed this into more leads. We took control, we played a slow game, and we choked our opponents out. That is the EDG that I have come to know, love, and hate here in the LPL in the last year and a half.
No, things are going well when you don't even need to smite home a Baron. Take EDG secure that as we look back at the 2 picks found from Xiaohao and Parukia.
I just love it because now, anytime Ryan sees a Nico walking towards him, he doesn't know if it's the clone, and he instinctively goes for a Valkyrie backwards because he doesn't know if he's going to get engaged upon or if Feather's going to be getting any kind of Pop Blossom next to him. So, great job from Parukia. Yeah, I've loved it. We as a broadcast have really loved watching this player grow now.
Oh my God! All that's for Parukia, by the way. It's for the Nico support. Do they even find this trade kill? I mean, yeah, okay, they got rid of Parukia, but you lose out onto Junhao and use so many resources to make that pick onto the support. And who has the inside track towards the mid lane? It's EDG. Crystalline Overgrowth, mid tier 1 turret down. Blascone audaciously throwing Keshi in the wave, the minion wave. Still a win for EDG because they have first look onto their 3rd dragon of the game that should go uncontested.
And I got sad again because I looked in Keshi's inventory and he has the alternator, which again means we're not going for Dusk and Dawn. Yeah. That's fine. It's fine. We're in the Twilight Zone. You know, there's an inability for us to get to that point anyway. So
that was a good one.
So 3rd dragon for EDG. That's Soul Point. This is more the EDG I think we were expecting in Game 1.
Yeah, I was gonna make the comment earlier of like I'm sure some people in the chats have tuned into this and been like, how is this ThunderTalk up 1-0? Like the way this game has gone, you would figure it's business as usual, just like it was yesterday. Hey, listen, ThunderTalk, this is good practice, right? Playing from behind, seeing what risks you can take to try and get back into a game. I don't think it's gonna work, but you always got Game 3, so just try some things.
They've played a lot of their games from behind, not just this roster, but also last year and the year before. True. So I don't think they need any more experience.
You can always learn.
Yes, but you have one of the things with Group Perseverance and Nirvana is that there are just way less games, right?
Way less.
Like That was why when we saw FPX and Team WE playing Group Ascend, it was such a big boon for them because they just had a significant more amount of games than they would have otherwise playing Group Nirvana. So it sucks because you don't have a lot of time to learn, you don't get a lot of games to get that experience, and then your season is over before you kind of know it. So for ThunderTalk, every single game is going to count. Every game here for them is going to matter. And for EDG, the fact that you even lost the game is kind of bad because this is supposed to be a team that comes into this and is supposed to be by and far #1 in this group. And that just never, well, I say never, hasn't yet really materialized. This is going to be if they do win the series, their second series win, and both of them coming from ThunderTalk, I don't think is very impressive.
No, and to take it a bit further, right? I'm not saying that I believed coming into the season that EDG could, you know, make some noise in the playoffs up against a Group Ascend team. All right, we have to hold that thought. Angel was not expecting Junhao to be sticking around this long. Zanya's the cease and desist. Gonna flash out the seismic shove. He's doing everything he can to prolong this fight. Can he go 1-for-1 with the burst? Not if he perfect executes away. Junhao's gonna flash. The Vault Breaker doesn't land. Oh, Angel might have a chance to find this kill. Remember, he's stalling so well, the EG are getting a lot more on the map here. So this taking this long does innately hurt ThunderTalk in the immediate, that being in mid lane.
Mid lane, and we still have so much to play for. Like, EDG are just stacking so much gold. They have a 5,500 gold lead, and almost all of it is mostly in Xiaohao and Leave. And cool, they caught Angel, but it feels like every time we've talked about ThunderTalk getting a kill, it has been, sure, you got one, but everything else is kind of on fire.
Yeah, and I just watched Xiaohao and Leave each purchase a GA at the same time. So that burst first comp, it's a lot more problematic. The point I want to get back to, not that I believed that EDG could, you know, come in and challenge Group Ascend teams, expecting them to top Group Perseverance and get into the playoffs, but they were, if you like, you know, had to pick a team to be like, I think this team could beat a Group Ascend team. The pick would have likely been EDG going into this split, so.
Okay, Keshi, I mean, level 18. We put a lot of stock into whether this Gwen was going to be useful this game. You are 3 items. The same can be said for all of the carries on ThunderTalk. This has to be when it kind of clicks.
Okay, flash away from the stop onslaught. He gets over towards the GA. Parukia's
look at the healing!
That needlework do a disgusting amount of damage. Xiaohao gets his GA pop. He's still healing through a lot of it. Leave goes down about half HP. Gets hit by that tidal wave. Seismic shove onto 2. Parukia looks to re-engage. Pop Blossom falters. ThunderTalk go 1-for-1, and Junhao's feeling a bit brash. He wants to go forward now. See how much damage they can do to the tank CDZ. Flashes away from another good seismic shove coming out from Heru. The chase continues. Junhao leading the way. Cease and desist is back up. Leave off to the side, looking for an angle to come back in with his GA. Angel goes back in for the back line. Feather gets deleted. Angel goes right after Ryan. Ryan gets deleted. And TT overextend themselves, trying to make the desperate play to save this game, but instead, they end the game. Ace over to EDG to polish off a dominating response to a flat Game 1 loss.
Edward Gaming, they're going to go for the Baron instead. They won't end this one out quite yet, but it's all but functionally over here for ThunderTalk. They tried to overextend. Keshi spent, or at least healed for a hell of a lot thanks to that 1,000 cuts passive. And the needlework there, giving him a little bit more. Just isn't quite enough at this point. Teleport comes in. It is Keshi. He does have ultimate. They're very low here.
Okay. Leave. Oh, good little killer instinct. GA's gone. Oh my god, here comes CDC. Bouncy house. Keshi, I like the look, buddy, but GA diff.
Yeah. That's just gonna be Dragon. That'll be Soul. That'll be EDG ending out this one. I mean, if you're looking at it from EDG's perspective, we're now going into Game 3. A lot of champions no longer in the pool. We'll see if ThunderTalk's newbies can really pull off a heist here in the end of this series. But EDG have played this game so slow, controlled, and honestly, very poised, I think is the word I'd like to use here. Even with Keshi wasting this much time and Parukia dying to what is essentially just the Valkyrie leftovers and the rocks from Heru. What I want to see from EDG is, let's just get one more team fight. Let's finish this game out. Let's kind of muscle our way through this one. We get to see them do this again. I don't know. Like, they're so far ahead. Leave has been having a massive lead the whole game.
Yeah, I'm almost. It almost feels a bit foreign how poised Leave is playing on it. Really fed Kaisa. I'm with you. We're up 10K gold with Soul. We can throw ourselves into ThunderTalk, and I don't think we really lose here. ZDZ, hey, he subscribes to this idea. Maybe a little bit too much. That's a really good Weaver's Wall from Heru. And that's a free pick on a ZDZ.
I guess. Sure.
Slows down the Baron push, right? At the very least.
Yeah, I mean, they still have the Chemtech Soul, and they have complete control of everything that isn't directly inside of your own base. So while you killed ZDZ, we got a lot of homework still left. You are by no means out of the clear on this one.
No. But little positive baby steps at least to delay the game. I mean, we've all I'm gonna say is our first series of the game had some games that really got lengthened into disgusting levels when they shouldn't have been, and I'm sure some people clicking on over from the LCK also are very familiar with the disgusting comebacks that happened tonight. That's all I'll poise to everybody.
Come on. Already
what was it over for? What was it? Wasn't like 12K and down Elder Soul for good old Faker over there in the LCK, if I'm not mistaken, today?
Some things are just immovable at this point. So, come on, EDG. I know we got it in us to end this one out. If we throw this one, we got to throw the whole org away. We're done. I think we're done with the EDG experiment in 26.
If EDG lose this game, I am live calling Mark on my phone.
I think we got to get him on the. I agree. I think we do have to get him on the stream for a little bit, just to get him the real disappointment.
But I don't think that's going to happen. So,
no.
Again, don't think it's going to happen. Hey, the Baron does run out, and ThunderTalk have all their turrets standing. So, how much do we trust their wave clear right now? I mean, Talia definitely makes it decently complex.
But look at all the waves right now. Like, EDG are crashing a bottom wave and a top wave and a mid wave all at the same time. The two side lanes are going to crash on the same timers onto these turrets. So TT are going to get pulled around the map just as there's nothing else to play for. They don't have a ton of range, so it's harder for them to siege. And they have to use these Baron buffs to hit these turrets. So until we get another Baron buff, or until we get that Elder spawning, there is no reason for ThunderTalk to really get out of sorts and put themselves in an even worse position here in this game.
Couldn't agree more. We do get to play this fun game called Does Keshi Ever Build Dusk and Dawn? Is that already gone? Like, is it too late, it feels like? I see Seeker, so he's going Zanya.
Well, there's not enough gold in this game. I feel like this game's ending in 3 minutes because we have an Elder and the Baron spawning before that. I don't even know if we're really going to get an Elder, but that would require massive theatrics from EDG. And if there's ever been a time, Slayer, that a leave positioning clip gets put on, it would need to be here. It would need to be now with a 5,000 gold lead.
Yeah, it would. I will say for Ryan, with all this stall time, he is one of the bigger winners. He gets the IE done. So, pretty healthy on the Corki damage by this point. He also has the armor pen to try and deal with ZDZ. He's starting to catch up in levels. Heru, Bloodletters, I mean, there's still not enough AP in this kit, but does help deal with ZDZ. Am I coping? Yes, but I do think this game should have ended about 5 minutes ago. I do really believe EDG could have if they wanted to.
You're like pointing out Ryan's inventory, and Leaf just took it back and finished his 6th item. Like
yeah, that's
it's not the same game being played.
Nope, it's not.
And if this was ever, this might have been a game where we actually just needed to go LDR because the Giant Slayer passive is going to give you meaningful damage versus Sion. Alas, I am not going to harken too much on these items. At this point, I've already proven my point that there's a massive discrepancy in terms of play here. So let's see, EDG, can we somehow baffle with our Baron take here? I mean, we have a Kaisa. This objective just disappears in front of us, right? Surely.
It definitely should. Top laners are up to level 20. We're reaching the point where we get pretty similar in levels, like Heru, nearly level 18 as well. ThunderTalk feel a little bit awkwardly confident to come out of their base, but they have to be very worried about Parukia. You can start a fight whenever they want. We got all Summers up, we got all GAs up for everybody included. everything. Everything is here except for the, you know, mountain of gold that EDG are currently clinging on to, as they will now start the Baron. Do ThunderTalk just give this up to try and have first position for Elder?
They have vision of this. They just use the redemption from Nami, so they know this is going down. Half HP here. There's a Parukia engage potentially coming on through, but everybody's teleporting for this play. This could be a huge turning point in the game or the final point.
All right, there's the tidal wave. Junhao, can you steal it? Cease and desist. And Baron's very, very low. 50-50 at some point. Xiaohao secures it. Okay, Ryan's on top of Leave. Leave deletes Ryan. All right, there. Boom goes the dynamite. EDG, respect the poise. This game goes on as long as they need to finally force TT out of their comfort zone, and they wipe down the fight that we all expected. We're going the distance here with perseverance as Heru wins the, that's like checkers right there. We got a King Heru. He went over Angel's checker.
Yeah, they were doing the like instant transmission thing where you keep teleporting behind each other. They use the wall. Yeah, that's just it. We'll just watch Heru die right underneath his Nexus turret. EDG are sending us to Game 3. It took us an extra 36 minutes to do so, but hey, at this point, a win's a win, as I keep saying.
And a dominating one at that. Not much more to break down there because EDG gave us all the time to talk about how many ways they were ahead. They get the win they desperately need to try and get back to 500 by only beating down on ThunderTalk. It'll take one more game.
Wow. I'm still worried, man, because like the draft looks so good. We mess up a couple of bottom lane plays, and I want to give credit to where it's due. Parukia had a fantastic Nami game here. He was so pivotal in so many of the fights. I would not be surprised if the advantage or the MVP ends up still going to leave, just because he kind of has the big boom boom damage, and he's also like a 15-2 Kaisa in this game.
Yeah. But
still, I do think Parukia was essentially the foundation for that happening.
I agree. But at a certain point when the boom boom numbers are way too high, you just got to give the award over. Unlike what they did to give Ryan the award last time. That's not the same thing, folks. This is going to be a lot different. You'll see in the post-game graphics. All right. Well, I mean, that is becoming a pretty reliable bottom lane for EDG to go towards, at least in group perseverance. I think if they're ever in a spot where they really need to win a game or they want to start a series off right against any of these group perseverance teams, get Leave a Kaisa and get Parukia Nico, and they should smash every bottom lane in front of them.
Just how? How do we mess that up? How do we... I don't know. I'm disappointed. I'm a little sad, especially because you really wanted 9 games today, and it is trending toward. We will at least
really wanted 9
have
games
8
today.
games. We'll have at least 8 games tonight.
Smiling because what's the LeBron meme? Smiling because I love my life.
Yeah,
that's me right now. I don't have a life because we're going to 9 games.
I had something a lot meaner set up for that, but.
Oh, okay. Well, that's lovely to know.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? I had a really mean insult to say to you. Like, how
it means that I held back. I'm being nice.
Okay, true. All right, Leave damage, top of the board. Yep. There's your player of the game. Hey, you know what? ThunderTalk, you got that one Infernal, Drake, man. That's all you got.
A 300 gold lead.
And that's all you get on that. That's such a depressing column. Oh, man.
I mean,
you know what?
I mean, they got nothing else.
Not the most one-sided game we saw today, though.
Wow, I really was exaggerating there. It felt like it was 15-2. 8-1 is...
Wow, yeah, you are seriously marking up some numbers around here. That's
anything
nearly
to
half
get the
the
Leaf
kills.
Propaganda. That's anything to get that Leaf propaganda up, okay?
Respect the
I've been
hustle.
having too many of the casters on the desk here. I've been putting Leaf positioning clips in our storyboard meeting.
Okay,
so.
Yeah, but they're deserved. They were deserved.
Not if they 2-1 ThunderTalk.
Oh my God, that is the single most cope saying I've ever heard you say on broadcast. Not if they 2-1 ThunderTalk? Come on, Hulk.
If they 2-1 ThunderTalk, then obviously they must be the best team here in Group Perseverance.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. My favorite part is you try to laugh through this entire thing.
Hey,
Are you reading the script for Mark?
Has NIP beaten ThunderTalk? No. All right then.
No,
let's keep the respect on them, okay?
All right, man. I'll let you run with this one. You know what you're doing, nonetheless.
You know what? Actually, I just realized something. How the hell is ThunderTalk playing EDG a second time without playing NIP first? How is that possible? How did we get here?
Maybe it's something. Maybe that's something with like the stadiums. Like maybe it was easier.
Dude, NIP don't play them until the 29th. What the?
Yeah, that is really weird. How does that happen?
We could have slotted this a little bit better. All right, we're finding ways of not talking about this game because this was.
Well, what are we supposed to say? Yeah, all right. Let's give our player the game over to leave and get set here for game 3. This will be the first game of this. Did ThunderTalk have first selection coming into the series?
No, that was EDG.
Okay, so this will be the first time TT can play around with. Do they want the counter pick? Do they want the first selection? What side do they want? So that's an interesting thing to look out for.
That'd be really funny if they're like, we want to play on blue side, and they're like, oh, cool. EDG's like, great, I love first pick.
Yeah, because haven't both games been TT blue side, EDG first pick?
Yeah. Yep. So give it to me, please. If God is good, you give. God damn it. All right. Well,
you knew it was going to leave, even if your inflated numbers were a little ludicrous.
There's a 15 somewhere here on this graphic. We just got to put it together.
There you go. Very, very quick math there from all. All right, I am shutting down this rabbit hole of cope that Alk has sent us down here with Edward Gaming. They are victorious. They keep the series alive. We go to a game 3 on the road to 9 games on a Friday night. What a time it is to be at LPL English. We'll see you guys after a short break for game 3, our final game from Group Perseverance tonight.